Alright, the only sideboard I made here is I sided in the DOJ and I sided out the Geist of St. Traft. I'm actually going to side in a Plains as well just because of double white. The only reason I'm not siding in Oust because he has like the protection from White Dude, and I think his deck is a little bit slower, so we don't need Oust. And I actually, Glenalendra I'm fine with in this deck just because he has some powerful stuff like Path to Exile and Necromancy that I would like to counterspell since we briberied his whole deck. And yeah, bribery's still fine. It's always fun to beat him to death with their own card. I'm thinking that where I messed up the most in this draft was not taking the Lightning Greaves over the Phyrexian Revoker, because I think there are a couple times where I could have just played my Emrakul and equipped it and smashed and won the game, whereas show and telling and then passing the turn to them is just not nearly as good. And this is a mulligan. Ugh. We are running 16 lands. It's not awful. That's our colors. Then again, it's pretty mediocre. I mean, if you top deck a land and he curves it all, we're just screwed. I think we mulligan this one. If this were like a DOJ, I might be more inclined to keep this. Okay, well, this is... We're mulliganing a lot. Tapped. So, top deck Tundra. Good enough. So our plan is hope for a white source. Well, good thing we sided in a Plains over an island. We have plenty of things in our deck, though, that we can top deck that will make this better. Go ahead and bluff that counter spell. No reason not to. Go ahead and bluff it. Bribery's not a terrible one. So that makes a land a live draw. I'm happy to take that Achroma again too, because even if he paths it, which is I think one of his only answers, well, he has Diabolic Edict as well. But if he paths it, then we just get a white source, and that's fine too, because we can just wrath the board until we can get some action going here. And I don't care about this Paladin and Beck, unless he Silverblades it, and then I'm a little more inclined to be worried about it. Mana Leak is a good one. And Supreme Verdict is such a good card. And the fact that they made it blue makes it so much better too, because you can pitch it to Force of Will. I mean, between that and Terminus, like Legacy has gotten quite a few good Wrath spells recently. And, not Wrath, but Removal. Abrupt Decay is sick too. Morph. God, I should have looked at what he had morphed in his deck. Oh, it was the Spectre thing. Yeah, I can't afford to, because I'm probably not drawing a white source here. And I can't afford to have him flip that over and make me discard 2 cards, because I probably just lose. Okay, Preordain is a good one. Tundra, definitely keeping that. And Scroll Rack I'm getting rid of. Bottom and top. And go to second main and play this land. If you ever preordain then like slam a land, I don't really like doing that because it shows that you were looking for that land, and here it just kind of shows like, oh yeah, casually I'll just put a land into play, sure. Probably doesn't make a huge difference. Oh, I guess I was right. I didn't even notice that was actually the card that we countered, so I guess we were right about that. Honor, yeah, resolves. If he plays a creature, we can play... What was the other big creature in his deck? It was a Chroma. I don't even know who I'm asking, but it was a Chroma, and there's some other card that I didn't really want, but was okay, I forget. I mean, if we, like, let's say we rip an irrelevant card, like a land here, I'm gonna bribery him unless he, like, plays some kind of threat that I want to wrath off the board. I think he's really scared of Cryptic Command right now. Yeah, I would be too. So let's get this bribery going. So, Crowd Growth. Mirror Entity, Revlark, Still Moon, not very good. Actually, Still Moon's pretty sick just because it has protection from everything in his deck. Although he can still Edict it off the board. I think I still like the Achroma. Does he? Yeah, Edict is in his deck, so we can just take Achroma, and I don't know if he'll have a ton of answers to it. Oh, that's right, Path. We should have looked at that. And by we, I mean me. We'll get a white source in case he destroys a land. So we're up to 6 mana. At 9 we can... So here he's probably going to play some creatures. Assuming he has them in hand, it isn't just being flooded right now. Or at least his Achroma's gone, so I don't have to be worried about 7, because the Honor of the Pure 7 hasted damage to the face. Even if he doesn't play a creature here, I'm probably still going to DOJ that Paladin and Vec off the board and just play the Luterio Core. I don't really like doing that. Oh, we can almost snapcast that bribery. Yeah, we'll still do that though, because yeah, that's fine. DOJ is strictly worse than Supreme Verdict here.